In a desperate bid to restore calm, a nighttime curfew has been declared in Los Angeles, with police conducting mass arrests as dozens defy it and protest against Donald Trump's immigration raids intensifying across the country.
Los Angeles, California. Have you heard of the place?
A curfew imposed on downtown Los Angeles, the district in lockdown from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m.
To stop the vandalism, to stop the looting.
More than 190 arrested on the fifth day of protests against Donald Trump's immigration raids.
If we want to see our city peaceful again, I will call upon the administration one more time to end the raids.
People are being picked up off the street. They're being snatched up out of Home Depots and Walmarts. Wake up, bro. Open your eyes.
His agents are arresting dishwashers, gardeners, day laborers, and seamstresses. That's just weakness masquerading as strength.
I see this as an unlawful invasion of California's sovereignty.
Trump has deployed 700 Marines and doubled the National Guard numbers to 4,000, with troops expected to stay put for up to 60 days.
We will not allow an American city to be invaded and conquered by a foreign enemy. That's what they are. They just poured right in.
The situation was winding down, but that's not what Donald Trump wanted. This brazen abuse of power by a sitting president inflamed a combustible situation.
And the protests have spread to at least 10 cities, including Atlanta, Chicago, and Washington, D.C. as Democratic California Governor Gavin Newsom takes on Trump.
If some of us could be snatched off the streets without a warrant, based only on suspicion or skin color, then none of us are safe.
An increasing number of journalists caught in the crossfire.
Police don't appear to care whether you're a journalist, whether you're a resident or a protester on the streets.
British news photographer Nick Stern forced to undergo surgery after he was shot by a plastic bullet.
Get up the room! Camera, where's this camera?
But it clearly will not end here. Other states are next. Democracy is next. Democracy is under assault before our eyes. This moment we have feared has arrived.
Well, Nick Stern joins us now. Nick, thanks so much for joining us, especially in the circumstances you've just gotten out of hospital. How's the leg?
It's pretty sore. The biggest issue at the moment is the lack of mobility I have with it. I had a 3-inch by 1-inch projectile that was embedded in my thigh, and they had to cut a lot of muscle through to actually remove it. So it's pretty immobile at the moment. It's something that I'll have to get through with physical therapy and so on.
Oh, that sounds nasty. Can you describe for us the moment where you were shot?
Sure, yeah, I was setting up to photograph a group of people that were flying Mexican flags, and then beyond them were the LA Sheriff's Department's vehicles with their headlights on that were illuminating the flags. And then all of a sudden, I felt this incredible surge of pain in my right thigh. I was pretty certain I was going to pass out as I was trying to move away from that area.
Do you think you were intentionally aimed at, Nick?
It's a question that's often asked of LAPD and Los Angeles law enforcement in general. You know, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. There's only one person who knows if I was aimed at intentionally, and that's the person who pulled the trigger. And with the lack of accountability that law enforcement here have, I doubt we'll ever find an answer to that.
Can you think of anything else in your surrounds that could conceivably have been a target?
You know, there's video of me getting hit from a number of angles, and the only thing you can see around me, about 5 feet in front of me, there's one of these guys flying the flag, and the device, which was, I believe, an explosive device, actually exploded right next to him. So whether, in fact, he was the intended target, but why are they firing these things at people waving flags representing no threat?
Nick, the curfew is now in effect. Do you think that will work to actually calm things down there in LA?
Probably 15 minutes ago, I got a news flash that there'd been multiple arrests for curfew breaking in downtown Los Angeles. So I think there's the answer to your question. No, it's not working. Unfortunately, all these methods that are being put in place are all there and antagonizing the situation. The people on the streets are not anarchists. What they're doing is a reaction to what's going on in the US at the moment with the mass immigration enforcement and so on. And I think we'll probably find that, as they impose things like curfews, that reaction will continue still.
We're watching some of the chaos happening from the other side of the world. We've seen shops that are being looted, cars set on fire, rocks thrown at law enforcement. How do you calm that down?
And, what I'm about to say may sound like it's coming from some lefty, woke, Antifa individual, but that's not me at all. In fact, when I was in the UK, I was a reserve police officer for some time. I've always been very supportive of police and law enforcement. But more often than not, what happens in Los Angeles is you'll get a peaceful protest. You might get perhaps a bottle of water that's thrown over the top, which crashes down near the police, and they'll call unlawful assembly, which basically means everybody has to leave the area. And that creates a flashpoint. From my experience in the UK particularly, law enforcement there will go out with this kind of attitude that they want everybody to go home safely at the end of the night. The attitude in Los Angeles seems to be that as law enforcement, we will win. We will have our way. We will stop you doing what you want to do.
All right, Nick, all the best with the recovery. Thanks so much for speaking to us in incredible circumstances.
Thank you.